We went up to Broadway Video, and there was a little conference room, and I sat down at the conference table with Gene, and Lorne came in, and Al Franken, Senator Al Franken, and Tom Davis, his partner. There was Franken and Davis, and I think Sherry. There were a few people who were from Broadway Video. And it was to do the Franken and Davis special for Showtime. I think it was Showtime, and Showtime was like a brand new cable network at that time. So this is 1983 now. And by the next morning, I was in a car down to Atlantic City to design and shoot this show. Wow. And so that was the first, literally my first art direction job in television was doing a Broadway Video thing for Lorne with Franken and Davis. So I had to do that cherry, Al used to do this hysterical impersonation of Mick Jagger, and Tom would be Keith Richards, and I had to do this cherry picker for him to go out over the audience, and there were all these there were like little sets to do, and I think it was at a college auditorium is where we shot it. But the most fun part for me out of that whole thing was staying at Harrah's Marina in Atlantic City, and I got an envelope of cash when I arrived. It was called per diem. I had no idea what per diem was, but I did know what blackjack and a crap table was. And that was via my stepfather, which is a different story, a separate story. So I went down with my per diem to go play, and it must have been 1 o'clock in the morning or something after a rehearsal. And I sat down at a blackjack table, and Lorne came and sat down at the table with me. And that was kind of how I met Lorne, and how the first conversation I ever had with Lorne Michaels was sitting at a blackjack table at Harrah's Casino.
Well, what were your first impressions of Lorne like?
He was using bigger chips than I was. That was the first thing. I think he was playing 50s and I was playing 5s. It might not be exactly true, but it was something like that. I do remember that as part of it. I liked Lorne very much when I first met him. The Lorne Michaels people think of now might be different. I've only known Lorne, he might be intimidating to other people, but I never knew Lorne to be that way. And so to me, he doesn't even seem that way now. I just think with success comes certain things, and maybe harder to access in some ways for some people or something. But Lorne has always been fantastic to me, and easy to talk to if there's something to talk about.